Welcome to Season 2, Episode 4, Knights of the Square Tablet. Your host, Strider the Champ here, joined as always by Coach Soder Dave and Scotty Game, spelt with two I's.
Yeah.
What's up, gentlemen? Welcome in.
Hello.
Hello.
Great time to be a Chivalry 2 player because we got our first patch of the year, Duel of the Fates 2.10. And it's a patch we're going to dive into with some analysis today. It's a patch that I think initially feelings are going to be a little shaky on, but I think in the long term, it's going to be remembered as a really good patch. So let's dive right in, boys. We got a ton of good stuff, new stuff to talk about. And we can start with, we got some new maps. Free-for-all maps at that. Free-for-all and dueling maps. We have Frozen something.
Frozen Wreck, Bazaar, Duel Yard.
Yeah. Yes. Did you guys get a chance to play them any?
Yeah, I played them all.
Yes, I played Frozen Wreck and Bazaar once, and then I played Duel Yard like 50 times. So
Okay. So now, I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about with Duel Yard. I also got to do the free-for-all limited time with Bazaar and Frozen Wreck. What did you guys think of those maps?
Frozen Wreck looks very nice. I think it's really, really good. Nobody that I talk to actually likes the gimmick of the ice breaking under, the feet. But when I played on it, I was like, wow, this map looks great. And I did a first and 10 on it, and it was very nice, very pretty. So that map gets a plus. Bazaar, I was hoping Bazaar would have been an LTS map, like I saw in the files. I don't know why it isn't. That would have been great, but it's a free-for-all map. Kind of an L for me. Especially because, Frozen Wreck, they took the assets from Theik and made, a new map.
A new map.
Bazaar is just literally copy and paste. And that's not bad, but it's I'm not going to praise him over it. Yeah, cool.
No, I think that's something that we've talked about should be the norm. If you're going to rip maps, it should happen pretty regularly since it's easy. For me, that map also, Breach of Bodwin, is my least favorite map or one of my top 3 in the game. So I'm a little biased on that. But I enjoyed the free-for-all queue.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I kind of like the ice breaking, man. I think the ice breaking is funny. It kind of fits the Shiv vibes too for being in a TDM or whatever. It's not it's not going to be used in competitive really, but it's kind of. I think it's kind of fun and funny. I don't think it's the worst map, and I agree about the Bazaar. I don't mind the copy and paste, but there was just a lot of content that I felt like was rehashed or just content that was already in the game that they're
we're gonna have a lot to say on copy and paste.
I think we're already on copy paste. I have quite a lot of opinions when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think the patch for me started real high, and then as I get into it more every day, it's it's slowly being but I mean, a lot of the stuff was needed in the game, in my opinion.
That's why I said long term, I think this patch is going to be beloved. But I think for the next month or so, while things get worked out, hopefully a month or so, I think it's going to be a little controversial. Now, I think the gem of the update is the Duel Yard. People seem to universally be absolutely in love with the map.
Yeah, I think it should have been
map.
in the game. If that was in the game day one, because it's just pretty much training grounds, right? But yeah, it's great. I really enjoy it.
I feel like it's training grounds, but they added a lot to it to give people cool areas to see, different things to try. It definitely. I had low expectations when they said a sandbox, because usually sandbox means there's just no content, and when you rely on the players to do everything, nothing good happens. But there was a lot of stuff in there to kind of give people areas to play around and make their own content, and people seem to be absolutely loving it from what I've seen.
No, I think they could be proud of this map. I heard from a lot of testers that they listened to feedback when designing the map, from everything from the ankle high fences for the little dueling areas to a small little 3v3 area, a jousting area, a ranged area that gives you notifications when you hit the targets, a bunch of healing boxes that heal you and give you a bandage at the same time.
Instant healing was huge.
Yeah, I won't count it instant until it literally fills my bar in 1 second. But I think they can be proud. They did a good map, and they can pat themselves on the back for it. So Solid.
I think this is going to be one of the maps that the core player base who's in those dueling servers nonstop. This is going to keep them occupied for a really long time, which you love to see as we get later in the game's life cycle.
Yeah, kind of the way people are using it really reminds me of Mordhau private dueling servers, where people are forming lines and engineers are trying to be refs, and there's a lot more. People are using it like they expect, more socially, which is good. Yeah, it's great all around.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what content the community comes up with in the next few months to play on that map. I know we've already seen fighting pits, as you mentioned, the engineers.
Yeah, the jousting is cool too, but they don't have. I told Mark, hey, we need like a bucket of lances, because even the horse arena is like cooler than that one map. Hippodrome.
I haven't made it over to the horse arena yet.
Yeah, it's just like an open field, and I've been doing horse duels and stuff.
It's still
and
like
I don't know.
Map
cool.
has some like weird quirks about it that I think they could change. Like they have a wall of weapons, but they don't respawn. So at the beginning of the server, I could just go and pick up every weapon off the wall, and then they all despawn.
Toss them off the map. And
exactly. I don't even have to toss them. I just drop them all on the floor, and then by just spamming E, and then they're all on the floor, and they all despawn. I think they should respawn.
Do they respawn on any other maps? Because that might be hard-coded in the game. I'm trying to think. I don't think I remember map pickups.
Yeah, I think they initially did it just for performance reasons. But, like Mark and Ari have been visiting my stream, and they both said that they're going to look into that, I think. So
cool.
I think it's totally on their list, and this map is like their successful baby that everyone likes. So I think they're gonna, keep pushing updates on it. So
now that I think about it, this is actually
it.
like the first map in a while where like everyone's like, yeah, this is a good map. I can't remember the last time people said that about anything.
What's also cool about this map is I think is a map that the veteran players are really going to love and stay on for a long time. And it seems like it wasn't a map really made for the really casual play an hour or two every 2 weeks players. This was made for the hardcore Shiv people. So I think everyone appreciates that too.
That's good.
Now, we have some other stuff in this patch that sounds great on paper, but it's typical with Torn Banner patches. We know not everything is going to work right away. Right.
Should we talk about the three kings on Galencourt now?
Oh, man.
All the little bugs
I heard
have
about
been
that. Yeah.
Hilarious, actually. Go.
I've heard we had quite a few bugs introduced, but I was gonna segue into while we talk about these dueling servers and stuff. Now, the dueling community has migrated to the private servers since Torn Banner won't be actually moderating the official ones anymore. And private servers are a feature we were beating the drums for a long time, and we finally got them. Have you guys played on them yet?
Yes.
Yeah, and I've someone from my chat, Mr. J, has his own, and he made me an admin on an unofficial server, so I've been playing around with it and testing its limits a little bit. So,
what were your guys' initial feelings?
They don't really work well in 64-man, which is a shame because they're very expensive. $80 a month. So
I think $89.99, right? Or is it
$79?
$79.99.
$78, $90, and $99 or something like that. So yeah, I I've been on multiple different servers. I've been on my own. I've been on like Equilibrium. I was playing with you, Strida, that one night.
Yep, where it crashed on us.
Yeah, and I mean, it was running better than some of the other experiences that I had. We had like 64-man on Linespire, and it was just hauling ass. And then, I mean, we tried to do the War of the Thousands with like almost 60 players full, and it was just so bad. I mean, I'm talking like second delay and hits, like people teleporting, you would be running forward and not moving. Like, I haven't seen lag like this in any other server. And I mean, they're just straight up worse than matchmaking servers, and which in my opinion is really bad since they're so expensive.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that I wish I could do, like map skip. Like there's a lot of functions that the modded private servers people have been talking about have a lot of API functionality that I would really like to see. Maybe not all of it, and I understand kind of why they're limiting some of those, but being able to skip the map, start a map, just do things more to like be a host for something, which is what the servers are kind of what we really wanted the servers for. But yeah, that's my initial thoughts. That's
all right. I'm about to go off.
yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, solder. Go for it, dude.
These servers are a joke. Torn Banner is a joke. This product is fucking dog shit. Nitrado and Torn Banner should both be ashamed. What they're offering is overpriced garbage. Understood? Genuinely trash. The value is trash. The product is trash. The results are trash. The options for customization are trash. Everything is terrible. The people who pay the most get the worst experience. That being the people who want to run a 64-player event. You know, the flagship mode that we all want to play. Can't run it. It's impossible. Nobody has been able to successfully conduct a 64-player match on their private servers. If they are, I haven't seen it. Next, they wanted to offer the ability to customize the objective times for each objective, right? So you know how some objectives are like 5 minutes and then 8 minutes? They wanted to offer you the customization options for that. So they set every single objective on all the team objective maps to 10 minutes long. Every team objective map now lasts over an hour. If you want to change this, you need to input the proper codes. They didn't have the proper codes on day one. So everybody's team objective maps are going on for over an hour. If you want your team objective map to not go for over an hour, you need to go into the configuration options and you need to manually input the times, which you don't have, because how would you? When you ask the developers for it, they don't have it, so you have to get to testing it on your own. Luckily, I've gotten that. If you don't personally know me, you don't know what configuration options to put in. I'm just straight up being honest. You better know Soder Dave or you're fucked. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, a lot of the default settings were, I mean, I had to play with it for like, you know, a couple hours just to get the correct settings. And yeah, I totally agree. I thought like a lot of this stuff was just poorly implemented.
It's so stupid that if you wanted to run a default TO match, you can't. And so eventually we got them to add the times to the blog post, the times for the objectives. But they didn't actually put in how you write it in the configuration options. So I guarantee, no offense, Strida, if you wanted to go and set up your own TO server, you're not going to know what to do. You're not going to know how to make your TO match run normally. And there's no guide. There's no nothing. You have to figure it out. And again, if you don't know me, you're not figuring it out. Sorry.
I'm straight up waiting until someone figures it out and can do it for me, and the servers start functioning.
Unfortunately,
the times are in the FAQ, and I was able to do it just fine. I'm sure Strida could figure it out, but like, but yeah, I think that they should totally.
You mean my admin team?
They should just be default how it was.
Of course, that makes sense.
Why wouldn't it be default? That should have been.
I don't know.
It should have been default, and if you want to change it, you change it. So I don't have any answers on that. I could forgive the thing being a little bit difficult to set up. I feel like anything you do with tech and running a server is always a little bit.
It just doesn't make any sense. Why would the default times not be the default times?
It's the same thing with setting up OBS or something. It's difficult the first time or two. Once you kind of get it, you get it. I could deal if the server was like that. My biggest problem though is that they don't work, and when you're paying $80 plus tax a month for servers that don't work, how many community members are going to keep spending $80 a month? Like the trial period to get these servers to work, you shouldn't be paying $80 a month to test them and get them to work. Like my clan was doing stress testing on their server that they purchased for $80. You shouldn't have to stress test a server you bought for $80. It should just work. Strida, are they going to get their money back? They should, in my opinion. The first month should be free.
There's worse, Strida. Look, all the servers start on the Duel Yard map. No matter what. If you're a TO server, you start on Duel Yard. If you're an FFA server, Duel Yard, LTS server, Duel Yard. There is no command to skip maps. There's no command to bring the timer down to 0. So you're forced to sit there in Duel Yard until the next map. So now, if you tell the Torn Banner devs this, what do they say? They say, we are not giving you the skip stage command. You will never have that. We are not compromising on this. Why? Because apparently it has issues with crashing. The answer to that is not, let's fix the crashes. The answer to that is, screw you. You're not getting this command. And don't ask for it either. That's so dumb.
What I had to do. Wait, sorry, Strata. What I had to do is just reduce the FFA time to like 60 seconds, so it would skip it. But then, if you wanted mix in FFA maps,
exactly, then all of those will be 60 seconds. That's exactly what they told me. I said, "What if I don't want to wait on Duel Yard?" They said, "Well, bring the kill count to like 1, so you only need to get 1 kill for an FFA map to pass." I'm like, "What if I run an FFA server and I don't want to be on Duel Yard?" They're like,
My problem with their attitude there is, so now what's going to wind up happening is you have servers that cost a lot, that don't work, that don't have a high level of user functionality, and people are going to stop buying them because of that. And I feel like then they're going to throw it in the player base's face. Hey, we gave you private servers, no one bought them. 6 months we're discontinuing private servers because it was a fail. But
they
like,
definitely
why
won't
is it
discontinue
a fail?
them. But the idea that their response to all of these things is like just no is stupid. The idea that when we want to be able to skip maps, like that's something that we want to do. We want to be able to skip the map into the next one. And they say, we actually have that command, but we're not going to give it to you. And the reason we're not going to give it to you is because it has the potential to cause a crash. Instead of the logic in their head being, let's fix those crashes, the logic is, don't give them that command. That is a faulty way of thinking. I'm paying $80 a month. Give me the command. It's my server. And yeah, fix that crash too. Like, this is like simple stuff. And then when we ask, okay, fine, compromise. Give us the add stage time command, right? The add stage time command is a command that allows you to change the stage time higher or lower. So I could change the time to 0 and then the map will end. And to my knowledge, that causes no crashes whatsoever. The admins use it all the time during competitive events and it has no issues. And they're kind of just radio silent on that and they haven't answered us. And it's been like over a week. So I don't know why they won't give us that command.
At the current rate, I would expect it to take a good month or so for these things to kind of stabilize out and hopefully get to working on 64. Just knowing Torn Banner, the level of answers you get, the time they take to do things. I think it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint, to get these things working to the level we want to.
There's like sort of ways to circumvent the shortcomings that these servers have, so we can kind of deal with it, but the fact that they don't work is the worst part for sure. For 64, man.
That is the worst part, that they literally don't function.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the locations offered are scarce. I have students in China that say, oh, the only servers are like here and here, and that's not close enough to me. And then
that might be Nitrato's doing. I'm not sure.
It is Nitrato's offerings, but trust me, they have methods to get Central working, and they also have subsidiary companies that are like Apex Hosting that offer Central. They choose to not use those. That is their issue, not our issue. They could do it. I promise you. They just don't. I don't know why. It's very annoying. Central is a really big thing that we need, NA Central, because obviously people want a fair and balanced experience when West players and East players are playing together, and they unfortunately can't have that because Central servers are not offered. Neither are South Central servers. It's really
that makes no sense to me, since the U.S. is the largest player base. You would think you would get West, Central, East, right? At least 3 options.
They have 2 East options. They don't have 1 Central.
Oh no, we lost him.
There's so many problems for such a high price, and it's not fair because they don't offer you a better option. Like, let's just assume this was a hardware issue, right? Nitrato's gimping us. They're giving us dog shit quality servers for a high price. You can't even give them more money to get a better experience. You're just locked to shit. It's stupid.
I was hoping that for the price you're paying, which it's a steep price for servers, as we've all said multiple times, that you were going to get something closer to where in a game like Counter-Strike, you're paying for a competitive level server for that price. And you're not. You're getting a below public level server for the price, which makes it a really tough sell.
We asked for higher tick rate servers, which would create a much better gaming experience. And Moon Moon gave some dumb answer like, oh, this stuff requires testing and work. Like, okay, do it. Like, go ahead, get to work, make me my better experience. I'll pay you money.
I'm going to say I'm sure he would rather a high tick rate server also, but
Yeah,
I think he's
I know. It's just the thing is, like, it's not like a bad experience on launch. It's a bad experience 3 years later, So I'm not willing to accept a lot of the bullcrap because of how long we've had to wait. And the worst part is the fact that they're in this state tells us that they have not been working on this for all this time. They've been neglecting it for all this time, and then they just started working on it recently. That's unacceptable. It's just not fair.
That's why I really want to get someone who works in the gaming industry on the podcast. If we have anyone watching right now who's in some sort of game development and wants to come on, we'd love to have someone come talk about this stuff, because I'm sure there's got to be some issues like with the code whenever they do stuff that it just messes everything else. Because, like, as you said, after 3 years, improvements and stuff, they should implement it a little bit
simply
easier.
Disagree, because the Unchained guys, who are the guys who make the unofficial modding, they made private servers in a very small amount of time, and they run significantly better.
And they work beautifully.
Yes. So it's not like it's not like Tornbanner can't do it. They just don't necessarily direct as much resources as they should to it. They it might be a rush job. It might be they put the wrong people on it. I don't know what the reason is. I don't really care. They just need to do better.
It's always been interesting to me how you'll have games like Mount and Blade or the Unchained for this, but where you can have modders come in and fix core issues of a game so quickly, and then you have hundreds or 100 people in the case of Torn Banner working in studio, and it takes so long to get fixes.
And they especially don't have an excuse, because all the Unchained guys went to Torn Banner asking, hey, let us work with you. Let us provide you our work for free. It will be higher quality and we will do good. And they say no. They say, go away. We don't like you. We're gonna, we're gonna treat you badly. It's so disgusting. They should be ashamed. That's why I said not willing to accept it. Terrible. I don't know if it's Nitrado issues only or Torn Banner issues only or a combination of the two. Regardless, they're working together. Torn Banner's getting the money, so they are directly responsible if Nitrado is shitty. And obviously, Nitrado is responsible as well for having exclusivity if the servers are that bad and they're the ones having issues.
Yeah. I would imagine it has to be a combination of the two, and I think it's going to take a combination of the two to get it fixed, right? Like, I don't know. This isn't my area of expertise, but I imagine
there could be a ton of reasons why things are going wrong.
The problem is both are relatively large and they're both very corporate, so things move slowly.
And we can't really make a judgment. It just doesn't work. So it's not really our job to figure it out. They need to figure it out.
I like your idea though. If they're free right now, if they make them completely free for the time being, sure, but they're not going to do that. You still have to pay your bill. Well, it's
Yeah, you're gonna have the people, the suckers who got them right away are gonna be stuck this month. I imagine a lot of them are not gonna re-up next month, which, in my opinion, they should get the month free if it doesn't work. But I think that sometimes companies like this, they also rely on the fact that most people won't go to them directly, deal with their support, stay on the online chat for an hour to get their money back. So they'll wind up profiting it off of it, which is a shame. It's a shame.
Server owners have reported that Nitrado support just keeps sending them automated messages over and over again.
Are you surprised? Isn't that everyone?
I guess, yeah. It's just
I feel like any company you deal with, they try to make customer support so miserable that you give up because your $80 isn't worth the time it takes to get it back.
Yeah, and Torn Banner devs have ghosted the private service threads. Everyone that's telling me that they're, sending in clips and asking for Torn Banner opinions and stuff like that, Torn Banner devs haven't responded in like 4 days. It's terrible.
I'd imagine that's because they don't have any answers.
Yeah, what are they going to say? We know it's bad.
Yeah, exactly. I think there is a part of being transparent. Like, hey, we're looking into it. We see the thread. We see the messages. It's going to take us some time. I think that goes a long way, at least for satisfying people or getting people to calm down. At least if you get that communication. Hopefully we do. So far, I do have high hopes with Ari. He seems, a little bit more with it. Dave said no.
When he first joined, he said, my first main priority is fixing lines of dialogue. Is he here right now? Where he at? And everybody that tries to talk to him doesn't get to talk to him. He doesn't do shit. I mean, he might be doing something behind the scenes, but it's been months. We haven't gotten anything from him. I mean, has he ever talked to you? He told me he ghosted you.
Yeah, I did finally get a message from him. We did finally talk briefly.
He ghosted me, ghosted all the other server owners. No, you don't talk to anyone, bro. What do you want me to say?
Well, we can only hope. But the thing is, the private servers were not the only broken issue of the patch. We did get a more skill-based matchmaking or level-based matchmaking system that came with the update, and it worked for 2 hours before it's been removed.
Yeah, and we actually really need that because the matchmaking games have been all over the place. I think it's because a lot of returning players are here again for a bit. But yeah, I was really interested to see how that feature would operate, and unfortunately, I didn't even get to play when it was up. But hopefully,
well, you didn't miss anything from what I hear. So how it's supposed to work is just how we kind of said, where it's just going to take everyone's level, loosely divide it, so each team has around the same overall level, and however it comes out. But it's just like a quick thing, which I love that so much better than like what the other AAA companies are doing. So I'm cool with that. The problem was, for some reason, it was apparently just throwing all the high level players on one team. So it didn't work at all. So you'd have a team of all level 500 plus people against people
it's
who
the
just
same
installed.
thing that happens already.
yeah, except exemplified, like to the max.
I said we didn't need it. Sunken cost fallacy. They'll try to fix it. Maybe it will work. Maybe it won't. But in my opinion, it was a waste of their time.
You know what feature is working is the region select, which I have been enjoying.
That's cool.
I've been loving that, actually. It's been so nice when I party with people. But yeah, sorry to interrupt. I don't know. I really want to see the team balancing feature implemented.
Yeah,
Sauter doesn't like it, but yeah, I'm totally for the feature.
I like it if it works. I just, like I told you before, I think level is a very arbitrary thing to balance off of. It's better than nothing.
Well, I think that keeps the fun of the game, that it's not going to be perfect, so you're still going to get variety in your games. I think the worst thing a game does is add such a rigid skill-based matchmaking that every game feels the same. I think most people, they want to have that game where they kind of pop off, and then you have that game that's harder, and I think this kind of will meet it a little bit in the middle, where you'll get more even games more regularly.
Accurate. And I think the fact that it's not exactly accurate is going to be a plus.
I agree.
So I'm with Stride on that one, but yeah.
I say just remove team switching. That'll fix it.
I mean, I've always been a supporter of that idea too. Not because I think it'll fix anything, but just to watch the people who always switch to attack cry that they got to play defense. To me, the tiers are the real win there.
The team switching is never going to be fixed because the experienced players know which sides are more fun to play on, and then they always switch to the side that's more fun to play on. It's not rocket science. Sometimes it's not even an issue of them wanting to win. They're just like, yeah, Dark Forest defense is not fun. I'm not going to play defense on Dark Forest. So if you just take away their ability to switch to
bunch of bitches
attack, then they're not going to switch.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I'm all for it. I don't think they're ever going to fully do that, but let's hope it gets in the next month or two, and the algorithm is somehow fixed so that we can see it actually function. Who knows? We might never hear about it again.
Yeah, right. Might just completely.
Like in 2 months, they're like, we have to inform you that we cannot implement the team balancing.
You'll be lucky in 2 months if you hear that. You're talking a year. We decided that it's no longer something we're going to be working on or pursuing.
Yeah.
Now, I hate to pile on, but I know you guys checked out and probably bought the Battle Pass. I know I do. I have all that leftover gold or whatever from the first one. So I'm going to wind up getting the Battle Passes no matter what. And I want to give them credit where it's due in that the Messer skins look sick. The one-handed sword skins look sick. But as you go through that Battle Pass, a lot of the stuff in the previous ones, we got a set or two of cool original armor. I don't think we got one original set in this one. Almost.
Yeah, the Templar armor from the last patch that battle pass was sick. This one definitely weaker. The Tunisian skins, The FFA skins are cool. They're kind of rehashes. You can only use them in FFA as well. And this is a social-centric patch, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. But also, having skins for only one game mode kind of stinks. They're kind of more for dueling and the social people. So I think a lot of players like myself who are more 64-man centric didn't really get that much this patch, and it stinks because the unofficial servers were supposed to be the big thing for us, and they don't even work. So,
Yeah.
But other than that, the battle pass, it's whatever.
My problem with it even being just free-for-all skins is that pretty much every armor or item in there was ripped from an area that was already in the game. You got the Duke's Crown, you got the Druid Mask, you got the Monk skins. You're paying $10 for stuff that you basically already had. You couldn't wear it, but there wasn't really any work put into making this battle pass or these armors. Even the knight armors they gave, they just put like paint and different heraldry on it, but it was an armor already in the game. Like, I'm not excited to get the same armor with some paint on it. I just think it was a little bit insulting to the consumers who buy the battle pass that you're getting stuff that they already gave us.
This battle pass is hot dog water. It's technically got more calories than water, but you don't want to drink it. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's so bad. This battle pass was like made in like a week. Like it looks like it took less than a week to make. The one armor set in the battle pass that you could consider unique is not unique at all. It's just another copy paste from an armor set that I already said was copy pasted. Like, holy shit. If you're on Tenosia now, there's 3 different classes with the same armor set. Are you kidding me? That's a fucking joke. They should be ashamed again. This battle pass is dog shit. All of those copy-pasted things, it's terrible, dude. It's so bad.
I didn't know if the Tenosia one was original or not when I looked at it, because it looks so much the same as every other Tenosia
fucking recolor
one.
horseshit skin, dude. They should be ashamed. Terrible. It's on Archer. Your Archer looks like a footman now, who looks like a knight now, who looks like oh my god, dude. So bad. They don't know what they're doing. That battle pass, they really want to farm some money while they wait for Regicide to kick in, where their real battle pass is going to be. It's a joke. The skins for those weapons, like you said, yeah, they're pretty good. I actually think they should be proud of those. Once again, the people who make the art, good job. But whoever told the art guy to make another copy-paste version of the same armor set he already made twice, dude, let that guy make something new, please. I'm begging you.
I think that guy wasn't the artist if he was making the copy paste stuff, right? Like, it's the artist's assistant or whatever.
The voice lines, who also are copy pasted from the airs, are broken, so they're completely silent when you do like attacks or heavy attacks or whatever. People are saying that it's impossible to tell when someone's attacking because they make no noise. They also have just less voice lines than normal voice actors. They didn't get them to record any new ones. Druid outfit, copy pasted. Monk outfits look cool, but copy pasted. A joke. They're footmen. Cool, I guess. I thought that was pretty cool. I wore David's robes because my name's David, so I thought that was decent. Dude, this is a pathetic pass. I usually say buy it if you think it's worth it. Don't buy it. Don't fucking buy it. Jesus, don't buy it, please. It's also grindy. It's so grindy. It's grindier than any pass has ever gotten before. I've played so many matches of TO, and I'm only level like 31. How are the shitters supposed to level this thing up? I don't understand.
I've heard that complaint. I was on a few bigger streamers who came back to check out the patch. I forget their names, but they were saying the same thing, and I really haven't experienced it being hard to level the pass. I mean, in like 3 play sessions, I was like level 33.
There's no way.
So
in 3 play sessions?
Have you seen Scotty's play sessions?
Yeah, I mean, I do play for a long time.
Okay, there you go.
Granted that. But it's like, it's not like, I don't know. I really felt like it's been the same.
I've been dropping 40, 50 kills a game, and I'm only level 31. I must have played over 20, 30 matches of TO at this point. It's insane. It's so grindy. When I say I don't know how shitters are leveling this thing up, I genuinely mean it. Like, if you're getting 10, 15 kills a TO lobby, how are you leveling this thing up? It must take forever.
Yeah,
and you can't even buy other tiers. You can't buy tiers like in other games.
I've really felt like it's been like the exact same. So
Everyone I talked
I
to
don't know.
said it's
Maybe it's
grindy,
placebo, or
terrible.
maybe it's something. Maybe I play too much. That's true. I do play too much, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's the same, and I've heard a lot of complaints about that. So I find that interesting. I don't know. I just haven't really seen
Yes,
it that way.
it's
so.
definitely grindier than the last battle passes, 110%. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. It's not even, they're not greedy because they're not charging you for levels. So it has nothing to do with greed. It's just, they just decided like, fuck you. And I don't know why. Like, I don't get it. So yeah, terrible pass.
I would imagine they have some sort of analytics department like all the gaming companies do, and they probably realized that the veteran players were finishing too quick, especially when you get an update every 6 months. So they had to, slow it down a little bit. I can almost guarantee that's why. I also have the feeling, I mean, this battle pass wasn't supposed to happen, right? It was supposed to be...
Yeah.
Patch 2.10 was supposed to be all about the new TO map, which obviously we're not getting. So I think this was kind of slapped together, and it feels like that.
Yes.
Kudos to them on putting in the nice sword skins. They're sick. I'm going to use them once I unlock them. I really like the Messer.
But this is what they should do, Strata. If it's a worse pass with less content, charge less. Don't charge me the same amount if it's a worse
Well,
pass.
I think their reply to that would be that we put it the exact same amount of content in it.
And it would be bullshit. So
yeah, I'm not saying, but that would be their reply.
We've consistently been getting like less and less content in the battle passes and lazier content. Like, I know we talked about like, oh, that Templar skin is cool. I don't think they should have copy pasted it to Footman.
That's an issue
And
with the whole gaming industry, though, where you get a lot of crap to get the one or two really cool things. It's the same in Apex Legends, same in Call of Duty. I mean, Fortnite probably has the best one of any game, but at least when you get those epic items at the end, it makes you feel like it was a little bit worth it. It might not feel long term like it was worth it, but the time when you get that and you rock it for a while,
I was mainly talking about the copy pasted armor sets. Like,
yeah. Well,
armor sets should be unique. They shouldn't be sharing a lot of assets. Like, and we're getting more and more like copy pasted ones, and I don't like that because I think it just makes the game look worse. Like, all the classes should look distinct, and even though like the knight and footman are both armored, they shouldn't have similar looking armor. They shouldn't be wearing the same shoes, same gauntlets, same chest plate, but like one has a little shoulder pauldron and the other one doesn't. It's so lazy. And now we have 3 classes with the same armor set as of this battle pass. It's lazy. Stop doing it. I'd rather not even have an armor set in the battle pass. I genuinely rather not, because then at least I can tell the classes apart when I'm fighting. It's so stupid.
Now, the one good thing that might come from this battle pass is we started putting a little bit of pressure on Torn Banner about the monk staff being in the picture that they used to advertise their new skin.
Yeah,
and the skin is only on the footman.
Yeah.
Skin is only on the footman, and they finally acknowledged that they've heard our feedback of the last gotta be year, and they're gonna see what they can do. We might have made it happen here.
I can't believe that's what made them consider putting it on the footman. Like that they posted a silly little picture with a monk and a quarterstaff, and that's why they would consider putting it on the footman.
False advertising, bro.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
They talked illegal, and they're
no. If they put it on footman, I'll be happy. It's pretty funny that's what would make them do it. Not like people saying, yeah, this doesn't feel good on night. I would like it on footman. So funny.
Well, I think the fact that, then once the patch comes out, you have all the creators talk about it. I did to quite a lot of people. I'm sure Ziggy did. I know Dave, I'm assuming, did in his.
I was up on the wall screaming it from the rooftops.
So you get a lot of outreach then when a patch comes out, and thousands of people have now heard the war cries. I know my community especially are like savage beasts when they get the rally. So
I'll give them some brownie points if they actually go forward with it and like, here you go, footman gets quarterstaff. I'll be like, good job.
There's no reason not to. Will it be game breaking for the general population if it's on the footman? Absolutely not. So just let's do it, right?
It won't even be game breaking for comp. It's like a nothing burger.
Yeah, especially for the TO. I know in dueling it's got its little niche. I'm not sure if it's been nerfed down or not.
Yeah, it got nerfed a lot. It's kind of really bad right now.
Okay.
For like casuals and pros.
Yeah, so just do it, right? Like let's get it done.
Maybe they're saving up for the next big patch with the new 64-man map. That's going to be the best ship map since sliced bread.
They do say that will be the best map.
They've set the stage. I was a
would
little
be sick.
disappointed. I thought we were at least getting the Golden Dag with this patch.
I was surprised we didn't.
Yeah,
And-
yeah. I was thinking the same thing too.
But you know what they did do? They updated it in the files, so now it's like fully completed. So it's ready to go.
Yeah, well, I was hoping we'd get it because it's not a weapon I'm like overly excited for. So I was like, let's get the Golden Dang done and over with, get it in the game so we can move on to, that flail that we all want or something.
Yeah, I should
can
have
hopes and
mentioned
dreams.
we didn't get a weapon this update.
No.
First time that's ever happened. Ever.
Yeah. So
No, we did get a weapon. The siege crossbow is
That was
fixed.
from last update. Oh yeah, they fixed it, yeah.
yeah, they did. All right, yeah, no, this is a good segue into the combat changes, what was fixed, what was nerfed, what was
Yes.
buffed. So siege crossbow, it's taken a while, wasn't acknowledged, but it is working as intended, I believe.
Yes. It's very fun. I like it a lot. And they should be proud. They made a pretty cool weapon. Decent.
Now, I haven't gotten to play too much, and I'm assuming Scotty never used the siege crossbow. So
I used it. I haven't used it this patch actually, so I haven't really tested it. But I've used it like twice.
all right, my
I
Discord
don't-
put them on the wall.
Yeah.
It works. It works. Honestly, you should like it, Strida, because it's the only archer weapon that like gets you to start not shooting at people, but like at
I was
things.
gonna ask you, like, how strong is it gonna be, like, as far as influencing games in TO now?
It will be very strong because it deletes banners almost instantly. It only takes 2 arrows to destroy a banner, and there's basically no counterplay. There's no way you can prevent me from destroying a banner with it.
And it doesn't really matter how dog shit your aim is. If you're in the back line, you have enough time
No,
to
yeah,
aim
yeah,
at the banner
exactly.
and
Yeah.
hit it, right?
And because
So,
because it's like such a heavy hitting crossbow, the arc is not that bad at all. It's really, really good. I was just like spamming walls and banners with it. It's a good point farm. It's pretty fun. You actually feel like you're doing something. So if your aim's bad and your positioning's bad and you are bad with the melee combat, you can finally do something. So
it's a way for the absolute brain dead archers to be useful.
yes, and like I said, it gets them to not shoot at people. So that's like the biggest thing. So the people think that their archer is actually helping the team, and also the enemy team isn't like constantly being pelted with arrows. So I think everyone should enjoy this weapon. Like it genuinely is really fun for both sides.
Yeah. No, we also Highland Boys are they back in full force, Dave?
I haven't seen it much. I did see some good players running around with it and being like, "Yeah, this is pretty good." But
I've seen a massive way more users or people using it in TO. I think more than usual, but not like
it's
crazy.
a good buff. It's a good
Yeah,
buff.
I think it is, like people would say, Highlander sword needs a buff, and I would always be like, I don't know, but I kind of like these changes for it.
Yeah.
I
Well, there
think
was
it's good.
literally no reason to use one over a greatsword for the last few months.
Right, and
Now,
yeah,
I'm not a fan of the weapon in general. I hate how it looks. I think it feels clunky to fight with. But, having another option is always good. And as long as it doesn't go back to the Highland Boys days where everyone and their
Dude,
mother was
remember that
running in and stomping
Aberfell? The
lobbies.
playtest for Aberfell was like the most
Yes.
ridiculous thing ever,
Yes.
dude. Like
Almost
everybody,
every player. had a
yeah, it was
Highland
funny.
sword.
Yeah, it was cool, and it was just totally OP back then. So it was like,
I agree with you. It should have never been added, but now that it's here, I think that buff was pretty good, well deserved. I still think Greatsword's going to be the better version, but some of the pro players were using it to some success, so it's okay.
Yeah, well, greatsword just feels so good. It's gonna be hard to top the greatsword and the Messer.
Exactly, yeah.
But we also had some other changes to combat. Dave, we had some jab changes. I know that's Dave's specialty.
yeah,
Yeah.
Also, I've noticed like, oh wait, sorry, just go on, and then I'll. Sorry, I shouldn't have
It's
interjected
okay.
there.
No, it's fun. Basically, they just kind of made all the jabs, for the most part, similar speed. None of that really matters for 99% of anybody who will see this. But the one thing that did really matter is that now when you jab from a counter, so you counter feint into a jab, that's a lot faster. because before it had the slow jab variant and now it has the normal jab variant. And I mean, that does matter. It does change a little bit of gameplay, but by making the jab faster, but I don't think it matters too much. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, in general, I think it's a very minor change. Some pros will be like, "Oh my god, this is like insane. This is the biggest thing." Bullshit. It's whatever. Decent change. I don't have a problem with it.
I've been having issues with like like block canceling and stuff. Like I'll do like a counter feint or something and then stop, and then try to cancel like a slash with just like right click, and it like won't do it sometimes. I've had like weird issues arise. I've also had my character just hold parry for like forever after, and you have to like mash right click to get it to stop. I've had a lot of like freezing issues lately as well with my game, and I've just been noticing a lot more of these bugs creeping in with this patch. And then also you got the 3 King Argons spawning on Galencourt, which they should keep.
Terrifying.
It's actually hilarious, dude. I was like, is this a new skin? Why are there so many Argons running around? Also the Aberfell, there's a big bug where if you kill, you don't even have to finish all of the druids off sometimes, and the game will just end. I've had that happen a few times. What other general bugs can I think of? Those are the biggest ones that have been kind of irritating. But honestly, the server performance in combat feels a bit smoother, at least on the matchmaking servers this patch. So,
how, Scotty, how did you find the stab changes so far? So now heavy's thwack.
Honestly, it hasn't affected me that much. I think it's fine. I think it's fine, to be honest. I mean, I tend to not stab through teammates anyways. I think I was one of the people who really welcomed this change, even though, people are idiots, they'll step in front of you, but it's just good gameplay, in my opinion, to not stab through your teammate as a strategy, especially on heavies. It avoids just doing like weird stab drags through your teammate and hitting multiple people. I find it's okay. The majority of the changes I welcome with open arms with the combat.
Yeah, I definitely understand that perspective. My only thing is playing in first person, then you're kind of punished as you're fighting, and some idiot comes running from right behind you, stands right in between your fight as your shot's already going.
Yeah,
flinches your hit, and then you both get decapitated.
All the time. Yeah.
So my thing is like, if you're gonna change that, that's fine. Anyone who does that to me, I'm just team killing you, and then I'm finishing you when you go down. So, take out my option to go through. I'm gonna be toxic, but I definitely understand the perspective of normalizing things.
I don't mind it. I did notice it. A lot more of my stabs were getting caught by teammates. And it was a little annoying, but I don't know if it's a bad thing or not. It's just a thing to me for now.
My biggest concern with that is in those like really contested choke points. Now, basically, only the front people are kind of going to be able to fight, because it's going to be very hard to sneak in shots through there.
Yeah,
so
and
I
I
still can.
Well, I think that adds value to things like spears and longer range weaponry, right? I think that's a good thing.
They already have a lot of value.
Yeah, but it adds value to Guardian as well, being a frontline man, being able to hold. Like a lot, I think like everyone in those kinds of situations feels like they have to just murder everyone. Where like when you're on defense, sometimes it's good to just hold that point, And I feel like not having everyone stabbing through each other allows you to really be more defensive. In general, instead of it just being a clash and everyone is just stabbing and killing it, you can use positioning to your advantage, especially for defense. So, but yeah, it does make two-handed spear and stuff like that a little bit more valuable than they already are. So I could see that side of it as well, but I don't know. In general, I think it's good. I don't know.
I think that's why it's nice when we get kind of 3 perspectives here, because I mean your opinion 100% makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, we have an interruption.
There's a gremlin. There's a gremlin behind you.
Okay, mister. Oh yeah. No, I was just saying, like, what you say 100% makes sense to me. I can't argue it. So, definitely, there's a different way of thinking about how to play the game. I mean, it sounds good on paper. It's for me. It's just the moments when I'm getting people running clean in front of me. Like, get the fuck out of my way.
You're more just angry at people running in front of you, which is understandable too. I get that. I've been seeing a lot of that as well. So.
Well, the whenever the patch comes out too, it always brings back the extreme casuals. So
yeah,
gonna get a lot of that for the next month.
Tourists.
Yep. Do we have anything else that we had changed to combat?
They technically increased the hitboxes for Qatar, but I don't notice it. So I really don't like it when they give no details on a change and no visualization, because it's a regular occurrence that whatever they do doesn't work. So when we can't actually see or test whether or not it went through, we have no way of confirming. So it's like, okay, I don't know what the hitboxes were before, and I don't know what they are after. So how am I supposed to know whether your change went through or not? I have no way of knowing. So
yeah, no, and I know they did a similar change with the ambusher where they fixed the backstab kind of radius a little bit.
Yeah, that was an issue.
I don't play ambusher, so I have no clue.
That was an issue I went over with Moon a while ago. Like nearly a year ago. And basically, when you are trying to backstab someone, the backstab zone is whatever is behind their camera, not their actual back. So obviously, because the way this game works, your characters are doing a lot of twisting and turning with the animations and stuff. And so your back isn't always necessarily right behind you. Sometimes, like when you're doing a wide swing to the right, your back is to the right as well. But your camera's looking straight forward. And so then the back won't be very representative of the back stab zone. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping what they did was make it to where the actual back of the character is what takes backstab damage rather than only directly behind the camera. But I have no way of testing it. So again, how am I supposed to know? And I have no visualization for the changes. So I don't know. So, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I wish they gave a representation of these things when they make these changes.
Yeah, no, me too. All right. Well, I think that's about all we have today for the patch, right? Anyone have any closing thoughts? Or we're about ready to wrap up?
I just want to say, my chat, stop pestering Mark, please, and leave the poor man alone.
I had to do that in my Discord too.
I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with chat, and I apologize, but yeah, I don't know. For me, people are also saying that Ari has been communicative, and I don't know. For me, he's been in my chat. I've been talking to him. He, maybe he's not responding to some people, so I don't know what's really going on with that. But, I mean, honestly, I don't.
I'm involved. I don't
with
have almost
any
every
issues
server owner.
With Ari.
I don't have any issues with him. He just ignores everyone when we're trying to contact him about issues or what's happening with the game.
In his defense, I'm curious what his DMs look like. It could be thousands of messages. I will say he has been, as far as the blog posts and stuff, I think they've been a lot more open than they've been in the past. So I think it's a good step in the right direction, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Dave, I believe you're supposed to stand up. I was messaged many times about that.
I was waiting until the very, very end. Okay, so I need to give the announcement. Hold on, let me read my thing. Okay, so recently, Delirium Moose has unfortunately had a break from Delirium, okay? This is an event that caused immense turmoil within the Chivalry 2 community, as teams across the globe are fighting to sign him onto their roster. And why is this? Well, because as you can see here, he is the best duelist. Delirium Moose, Chivalry 2's best duelist, co-signed by DVS, my team, Strida, who is that? I don't even know what that says. Vandals. I can't read it. It's just a lot of teams say that he's the best because he's the best. He's the best duelist.